Yeah, freestyle, keeping it real now. Yeah. When I wave that flag, hey. When I wave that flag, Mega, what's up? Yeah. Ice cream so good, hey. When I did that flag pole, stick that up in your ass, or what you wanna do? This is my castle. Trump towers are come around here. When I see Joe Biden, strike him with lightning, chuck him over the fucking wall, treat him like an outsider, but he already is. Shit. All my family, all my MAGA, keep it real. All my MAGA, all my family, keep it real. Yeah. I make this look great. The skies are great. Good after drugs. Get off that dirty brain. Get it. You don't wanna get dirty brain. Yeah. You just didn't know it like me. I really didn't. Lock them up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just in my zone right now. See me. Oi. Oh, yeah. Come on, tell him.
You can suck the fucking piece of shit.
And a fucking piece of shit. Ladies on my bed, some giving me hey. Come on, waitress, hand up your dress. Give me some food, I get the butter with that. Sticky to your shit, I get the shit that met. Over the top, no cap of that wall. Strap that in your fucking ass, bow. I ain't a sniper, I'm that one fucking viper under the lightning. Ego flying what they want, stars shining, ayy. Then the campus ray. Shit. Here. Don't know what to say. Then stay away. We get together. Two ladies sitting in me head together. Fuck no way. Yes way. Every way. I put it in them for dinner, and they love it.
Okay, I want to say welcome everybody, welcome to this audio message. I'm here working out while I'm talking. I'm in the middle of a workout, as I always do every day. And I just thought while I'm working out, I thought I'd just make a message and talk to people out there, okay? I've been in different jobs throughout my life and I've seen my fair share of intimidation tactics and bullying and things like that in the workplace as well. In adult life, you know, I've seen it in work. So not only in schools with kids and stuff, but there's bullying in workplaces. And a lot of this comes from ignorance, but a lot of it comes through fear as well. I think what I see in childhood, in kiddie, what do you call them, like, you know, our child years, kids, usually it's like a fun thing most of the time. I can't say all of the time, but I think some bullies just bully people for the sake of bullying. It's an ego thing, and they think it's like a bit of fun. So they mess with people, you know what I mean? And it's bad, it really is. I think parents need to watch that. Teachers and parents should, you know, definitely do stuff to stop bullying the best they can, stop to teach some good ways, teach their kids. It's really hard. But I'm not talking about that in this message, okay? Because I've been through stuff when I was younger too in school. I've been bullied as well. But what I want to talk about here is work in the adult life, like bullying at work and stuff, or bullying in the adult world. I think a lot of times, if you're in a job situation, it's fear. It comes from fear. Or in the adult world, bullying comes from fear. It's a power struggle. Who's got more power? Who's got more of an image? Who's seen as like a power, figure? Money, of course. You know, someone's seen as powerful because of how much they've got materialistically, how much money they've got, you know, or how much support from other people, regardless of who those supporters are. Excuse me, or their reasons for supporting you or not, you know. But it's about that kind of thing, you know. And it's not really necessarily about fun and that's it. Adults don't usually want to waste their time. They're usually fighting for something for their whole life. And you know, if someone's always fighting to do well or to sort of be successful, okay, and all that, it means that they're trying to constantly pull themselves through a pit of despair, failure and lostness. So they're trying to find themselves, they're trying to show themselves, they're trying to prove themselves, they're trying to whatever, hold up and control everything, like the ground's falling from under their feet. Someone who's always fighting never wins. You may say, well, they do eventually. No, they don't. We said always. Someone who's always fighting, travelling, never gets to the destination, so to speak. You know, the same as staying put and doing nothing. You won't see anything, get anywhere, or anything. Now, nature's nature. We've got to go in the flow of nature. Is what we should do. But everybody has their own unique nature. Everything is different. You can't climb, water like you can climb a tree, and you can't swim in a tree like you can swim in water. They are different things. Every flower has different colours and different smells, and different fruits can grow on different trees, and you can't change that. A wolf can attack you, probably, and do you more harm than a bird, a small bird. But it can't fly, like a bird. It doesn't have wings. So when people talk, they don't hear. And when people are not silent, they can't hear anything, you see. If they're not silent, you can't hear it. All you hear is the sound you're hearing. You don't actually truly hear. You don't hear anything else, Now, there are so many people that are wasting their potential in this world because they're wasting their time and energy to do things that are not meaningful. And they always want to compare and battle with others and prove themselves to others, and prove themselves to a larger crowd, be someone amongst the crowd, or just be within that crowd of gossip or whatever. They're just part of that whole system. That machine is part of it. That way they have meaning, they feel. They feel individually you have no significance in life. And there are whole cultures and countries like this, and people, I'm not saying everybody, I can't say everybody within a country is the same, but there are. I'm using this word here, culture, but I could use any word. I'm saying a kind of pack, a group thinking. It can be whole cultures in countries, vast majorities of cultures. It could be just within a group or whatever, within a small group. But I'm saying there are cultures, like, okay, I'm using this word, where this kind of mentality is all they know. To be one with the system, follow everybody. And again, look, it goes back to brainwashing. Okay? It's happened. People have been brainwashed. It happens. You can look throughout history ways people have been brainwashed. Hitler's followers or whoever, you know. Okay. You know, and 1984, the story by George Orwell. It says it as well, exactly what it is. People are brainwashed through the information that they are shown and they see and they know to be fact, and the other stuff is hidden from them. Other information is hidden from them, so it cannot be true, you know. And so they behave like everybody else does, or else you're a traitor, you are a problem in the system, you are somehow a rebellious person, you are a problem, you can never be, there can never be anything new, there can never be anything individual about you, or, you know, or else you are trying to go out of the flow, you know, of everything, and you're trying to be like a rock in the stream, so to speak, you know. A stick in the mud, no, a rock in the stream, you know. But the flow, where is the flow going? You know, even the water is contained somewhere, or else it would have nowhere to go. It's whether it's above the land, or whether the seabed, on the earth, whether it's in a pool, you know, a pool of water. There's a big hole and it's filled with water, and we call it a lake, you know. Either way, okay, either way. Everything must connect with something else. If there is no this, there can't be that. And if there is no that, there can't be this. It is the differences that allow you to exist as one. Do you know that there can be no one? You could say there could be no one without two, without infinite, see? It's like there could be no one without the zero, of course. But if it's just one, and we have just one side, any side or any angle to anything, but without balance, it's irrational, it's not possible. You have to have two sides to everything. So that means we're talking non-existence. We are, something contradicts itself. It cannot exist. Okay, it cannot exist. It's because of other ideas that you can understand this idea. Because of different people's thoughts, differences of information, different things, different phenomena. That's what helps you learn. And if you don't keep learning, or if you don't hear this, you will not know how to speak or develop yourself further. So to maintain a base, to maintain this direction, you see, this position, whatever, you have to come from all angles of balance and all kinds of methods and ways on the journey. It all comes together. Like each passing moment of time, like all of the atoms and cells in your body, the energy in your body, the blood flowing around, and your muscles, some muscles are tightening and some are relaxing. That's how you walk. When you walk, certain muscles in your body, in your legs and your back are relaxing and other ones are tensing. When you're to be strong, it's a constant flow of change of position to maintain any kind of direction or journey. It's a constant flow. It's a constant flow. And if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be able to exist. The body and mind have to exist together as one, right? Otherwise, there's no existence. A body without the mind, a mind without the body. What is the existence of the human? And then what are you doing? But if you don't exist first, you can't do. And if you don't do, you say you can't exist. You may say that, but yeah, okay, the flow. See. Now, You have to be. You can't talk about confidence. You can't tell anybody about this topic of confidence or self-control or their problems and they've got to fix their problems. If they don't exist, that person is not you and you are not them. But, if you know what I mean? If everybody was you would not have as an effective, efficient situation as you think. You really wouldn't. Yeah. It's like everybody in a supermarket, everybody working in the supermarket or everybody working in a restaurant. If everybody did the same job, it would not function properly. Different people have to do different things, like your body. If every organ in your body did the same job, you'd be missing it. That's why we have a heart, that's why we have a brain, lungs, liver, kidneys, intestines and all the works, right? That's why. The ears and the eyes are different, But the point is, okay, when we're together, we can, work with the world. Only when we work with it, you have to climb the mountain. There must be a mountain for you to be able to improve and climb upon it. See, and you must be you in order to climb the mountain. If there was no you may think you're small and insignificant to the jungle, the mountain, the forest, the ocean, or whatever. But this is your adventure. Now, if you don't, the smaller you are, the bigger your universe of potential is. The smaller you are, the more peaceful you are, and just accepting of the universe, then that power becomes yours. You must be accepting of the power of all that is there for you to benefit from. And that which is not beneficial to you, you avoid, and it falls away from you and it falls out of its own existence even. Sometimes, it's like, it's irrelevant. What is relevant is the ground under your feet, the air that you breathe, the water you drink, and the sunlight that gives us all heat and life and makes things grow so that we may have food. And all of the way our senses and everything are growing in the biological body to let us know what pain is, to let us know what the pleasure is, So we need to know these things, the temperature and our five senses. Not to create the world, but see and help us guide ourselves through the world that we live in and that we must study from. We don't dictate the world and this or that. No. We walk through the world and we learn from it and are able to appreciate and learn and develop ourselves. We are humble enough to say, this is a world that I am in. I'm not bigger than it. The world's not in me. The world's not in me. I'm in the world. And we say, look, now I have power and my sense, my mind can be really working well. Not overthinking and over stressed and all of that, Now, human beings make technology. We make laws, we make systems of rules, we make money and all that, And then we try to make some organisation. There's too much organisation and hierarchical stuff, and I understand that. But if there's always control and there's not that balance and respect for the individual, there can never be any hope. We have to work with people and their natural abilities. We can train people. People can train themselves, I should say, to learn. But your goal in life is not to be a slave to others, or not to make other people be a slave to you. Your goal on this earth should not be to win the respect and try to get everybody to appreciate you and respect you and accept you. You will put the burdens of the world upon you. I would rather be poor. I'd rather be much poorer. I don't want to die, obviously, but I'm saying I'd rather be the most unknown. People have no interest in me for the most part. I would rather be just like nobody, like just someone in my own world, in my own little quiet place. If I have one or two people that are friendly and okay, friends or family, okay, good, But I must have sense in myself. I don't need to be the part of the crowd, the light of the party, what's the light of the party. I don't need to be the whole, be part of that so that I become nothing either as well. You know, I don't need to be part of a world that I'm nothing in unless I disappear. If I disappear and I become that, then I'm nothing anyway. You see? If I'm me, I'm nothing in that world. I must become part of them, right? And it's in some people's eyes, I'm saying, you know, they look at it like that. In some cultures, they look at it like, if you're not part of that, what everybody's doing, what everybody's saying, then you ultimately are nothing. You're not. And when you become part of that, and you do, just literally, if you are somehow accepted into that blind chaos, is what it is. But if you are part of that, you also become nothing. You don't exist anymore. You are insignificant. You've given up yourself, your life, any meaning. There's no chance for you to have really a better experience. You might think you are in the beginning slightly because they're giving you more money or whatever, or saying you're great. But that's their own words and they're lost. And the truth of the matter is, okay, you are not existing, you know, and if you don't exist, you can't develop further, and you can't learn. It is your experience in life. You are the one that is learning. You are the one that is maintaining, developing, flowing and gaining in life. You are gaining. And you are gaining, you know, is the thing. You will gain from life if you exist. If I see your hand holding money, holding something, no matter how I see it, this is not my hand, it is not you hold, it's not me holding it. I spend my whole life preparing meals for people, scrubbing the floors for people. Some of the most people that really try to be like so strong and bold in this world, living up to the world, they become slaves, absolute slaves. Someone who has no confidence in themselves, or rather has no peace within themselves, and too much confidence within themselves, and they have no peace in themselves, you know, who follows everybody else. That kind of a person has no right to tell me or tell you or tell anybody or say anything about, you know, confidence and talk about being confident and how you should be confident or how you should do things, because they have no control of the direction of where their feet are pointed as they stand. They're not even standing there, let alone talk about any direction of travelling through their life. If we don't be humble, we can't listen and learn anything. What is the meaning of life? What do you live for? Just to earn a buck? There's many people that are not happy in life. I am very happy with my sanity and my health. My sanity and my awareness of self. I'm very grateful for this fact. I know very few people that have this and can relate to what I'm saying. I really am so peaceful in myself. When I see the world around me as an absolute mess, total chaos, I feel so relieved to know that I know exactly what I mean and that I have no intent on trying to change anything around me, you know. I'm very fine with the fact that a peach tree is a peach tree and an apple tree is an apple tree, as I said before, just like in the film Kung Fu Panda and that kind of thing, you know. And this is what I live to. I live to just take care of my mental and physical health. I'll play the game of chess if I'm in a workplace, or not even that. I'll just, you know, I'll set the board for them and help them set the board if they'd like. If not, I won't touch any pieces. If it means I'm going to get some pay so I can survive. But I don't live for money. I don't live for money and, you know, and that. I just I do it because I have to, but at times. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, I'm totally fine with just going along with that, and just showing a smile here or there, and being simple. But let's talk about some things, okay? There are people in this world that have so much stress from their, let's call it culture, okay? It could be countries, different cultures, it could be, within a certain belief system, it could be, if you want to call it that. If something is destructive, it's not an efficient thing to even be maintaining itself. So how can it even exist as a system? But nature's the perfect system. If something's constantly falling apart and battling with itself, like a body that's like got some kind of dysfunction, some problem with the body, then that's not right, is it? Like a cancer or something, There shouldn't be no cancer in a healthy body, right? The body should work, everything works in accordance with each other, the different parts of the body, So there you go, see, so. Anyway, I'm just saying, that, but yeah, if you are literally not free, if you're not in yourself, you cannot function. So, a lot of people, they're stuck in a place where they feel they have no voice, and to have one's own ideas is to be rebellious, is to be, somehow just ignorant and wrong. And they have to follow the king, the dictator, the mistakes of others, or even things that they don't need to understand or they don't understand fully. They just feel there's no need to question. Just trust and follow. So these are people that don't think and don't learn. And they want to call you an idiot because you don't follow along. They become violent. You are following sometimes the people that are violent in life. They become very violent. They might not attack you straight up like that physically, but they would. If you did, in a certain situation they may do. Because in their mind, they cannot accept you for who you are. Okay. This is what I'm trying to say to you. So these people, they spend their whole lives trying to impress people in the workplace, and at the same time looking for things they can exploit or mess around with other people. So they pretend they're nice, or they'll make up phony stuff, then they'll be nasty, or they'll just try and cause you crap and trouble straight away. They gossip and people talk crap and then twist things, and before you know it, you've got a thing that's falling apart because nobody respects anyone, and the whole thing's broken up into different areas. Now, when someone speaks, immediately everybody thinks that listening is following. No, not necessarily. This listening should be learning. And following doesn't mean you lose yourself. And it doesn't mean you have to follow people. You have to understand what you're doing. Everybody's different. They are different. We work together as a unit in a job for the thing, But if we're driving a tank together, two monkeys can't drive a car holding the steering wheel. If there's a tank, someone's got to fire the gun and the other one drives, So at the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to say to you. At the end of the day, it's like, well, it is, I should say, truly, that in these jobs you get people that just want to bully other people and intimidate. And in other areas, they respect other people. They look up to certain people and try and find their crowd, their circle of friends, or where the power is. And they try to exploit or, cause trouble for everybody else. So ultimately this whole thing's falling apart. Why does a car have a certain number of wheels? Why does a table have 4 legs or whatever? Why? for that pure stability of the overall whole thing. So if you cut off one leg of the dinner table each day, you know, then it's like, you know, if you do that, then you know, what are you doing? One day you might find your dinner is on the floor, you know, got no food today. You know? So there's no reason to be pushing and pulling the world around you, trying to shape the mountains and make the water fly up in the sky and change the way the natural things work, the seasons and the temperature, and you know how the water lays low, lays flat when it's calm, how things grow. Not some maniac biological chemical scientists trying to change the laws of nature. No, okay? That way you mess up everything. Excuse me. Excuse me there. That way you truly mess up, you know. You'll mess up yourself. When you dabble with the impossible, with the destructive ways, when you dabble in death, when you play in dirt, it goes upon you. You lose any essence of life, of true living of life, you know. You lose it. When you don't question, you'll have an answer, alright, but the problem is it's limited. He who has more questions, he who is for the road ahead, who is willing to walk this road, there'll be more for him or her. But if you stay in the prison that people have built for you, and don't even realise that the doors are open, and you just lock yourself in there, you know, and what are you doing in your mind, you know? You are an individual, or else you wouldn't be thinking, even to agree with those ideas that you follow with other people. You wouldn't be able to even think, to comprehend anything. You know? Differences are the entirety. You know? Everything is contained within the one. If it didn't have unlimited differences, it would not exist as a one eternal, whole, functioning one system. So when they talk in nature, so in the universe, you know, the heart of the universe, whatever that is, you know, whether it's a point or whether it's just the overall, whatever allows this to exist, you know. If that wasn't so, if that didn't exist, then, you know, you wouldn't see all the things we do have, and vice versa. They wouldn't exist if there wasn't that one. So if you want to have a good individual life for yourself, you want to have a good life for your family and all that, you know, you need to work with the ways of the universe. It doesn't mean following everything. It doesn't mean that. Only truth of nature is the way to go. You follow things which are... You don't follow things which don't follow nature, is what I'm saying. Okay? You'd be wrong to follow just technological things sometimes made by a human that have flaws. The flaws of human psychology and ideas and experience. Okay? Before you build a building, you study the ground, the actual kind of ground that it has, the land. You know, before you go and colonise Mars, you want to understand, does it have air there? Then you go and visit the place first. You don't talk about a place before you visit it. I'm not doing that in this video either. You need to listen and study and observe and watch, you know, to see what it is. So many people, they go to different cultures or they just stay in their own culture and they talk about it as if they know it. They don't actually really observe it and study it, you know, for what it is. little kids are taught that, little children, to put a circle into the toys, like plastic shapes. They put the shapes, like the circle in the circle hole, the square or the triangle or the star, into different slots, you know. They do that. They learn colour matching, or what's different, you know. If you didn't know it was different, if you didn't know what was different from it, you wouldn't be able to match it up with what isn't, you know. You know what I mean? You have to see. If you want different, sometimes in your life you want to make some differences and different changes, you'd have to know what is not different in order to do that, right? And it's the same as if you want to match things up and put things together where they should be, or that can be matched up, you need to know what's different. Meaning these things have to exist, or else you cannot recognise them. And not only do they have to exist for that, for you to know it and understand it in the world, but also they do exist. Otherwise you wouldn't exist. I exist for you to be able to think the way you think. You exist for the way for me to think. It's not to say that we control each other or we create each other, no. But you are everything that you are not. You're all the things that are not you, all the people out there. There's only one you, you're unique. And you know what I mean? And that, you see? So what is because of everything it's not. And what you are not is everything that you are. I'm saying, well, the other way of looking at it. The other way of looking at that, see? Okay, so now nature is a beautiful thing. Okay? Nature is not only a beautiful thing, it's the only ground you can stand on. It's the only air you can breathe. The mirror never lies. Then it does show you an opposite image, but you know what I'm saying? Flipped image. But it's like, if you can't see anything, you can't talk about anything. Do you hear what I'm saying? You know? Someone hears some words and they paint a picture. Someone sees a picture and they paint some words. How many words they write, how many pictures they write. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. But if you don't see anything, you can't talk about anything, okay? A picture is worth 1,000 words. But it's not the picture. It's not how you see it. It's not even how if you see it, because that will always be limited even for the best people that do see even better than some ignorant people. It's like the problem is, how good is your seeing? How good is your vision? If you have better vision, it's better. And if you're in a dark forest, you have to see yourself. When all else is not clear, and you're in the darkness of the forest, or you don't understand why people are doing this or that, or if your mind or your emotions are all over the place, sometimes you have to be peaceful, turn off all the sounds, silence, be in the darkness, look into yourself, and the light will reveal the picture in your heart, and you will hear again the story of what you need to do. You will feel yourself, or how you are being, and what the next step is. Like your lungs know when you breathe out the air, your lungs know to breathe back in again. Or when your mouth is dry, you know you want to drink some water, you're thirsty. Your stomach hungry, you know when you're hot, the body sweats. Nature's telling you all the time, see? Yeah. It's not what other people think. Never what other people think, never. Okay? Not okay because I say okay, no, I'm saying just, does that make sense? And if not, we keep studying. You know? If there's a problem, look at who is complaining, you or other people. If it's you, if you're the one with the stress, ask yourself what you are doing. Even regardless of how other people are behaving, just ask yourself what you are doing. If this is healthy, and if you're going to continue doing this, are you a slave to others? And if you constantly feel that you're a slave, even in a job, then you've lost. You become unequal to other people. You literally believe you are not human and not alive. And that's a delusion. You are a human. Everybody can respect themselves more. People that don't respect others don't respect themselves. And if they don't respect themselves, it means they don't know themselves. If they feel bad and unhappy and all this and got a bad attitude, it's probably because they're stressed out, and the stress is coming from the fact that they're doing something wrong. They're not going with their nature, what's right. They're giving all their energy and time up to the world to make themselves so poor and so weak, in a bad way, I'm saying. When I said I'd rather be poor, I don't mean I'd rather be poor. What I'm saying is I'd rather be, I wouldn't want to live in that fake riches and popularity of the world and all this. I don't want to be amongst people that are insane. Not that I judge them, I'm saying people that are not sane enough, not accepting of themselves. I've been around rude people, I've been around people that say that they don't even want to live. And they go around trying to bully others. It's like, well, and then in the end they've got in trouble or lost a job or they've fallen into problems. And people that are always causing problems, they're people that have usually been going through problems their whole life, a lot of people. And a lot of times they don't see that they're creating problem after problem. But the outside world is not you. You need to understand what is you and what is not you. If you can't differentiate that, then you'll never know what is and what isn't. Before you can know what is and what isn't, you need to understand yourself, like what is you and what is not you. That's the start point. You're not the start of the universe. The universe is here, created you, okay? But the start of all of your thoughts, the start of all of your actions, it comes from you. Can't blame people. It doesn't matter who doesn't understand you or what they should be doing, how they should be doing their work or that. No. There are always people that could punch you in the fucking mouth, excuse my language, or kill you. That could happen. Or you could be locked in prison, or you could make a mistake. There's things like that could really destroy you. Someone could be drunk driving and just hit you with their car without even knowing it. And that'd be the end of you. You need to value your days and stop putting people down and putting yourself down. Being a follower. Telling people about their culture and saying and criticising it, or trying to force your ideas on others and say, look, or your strong opinions and criticising, saying that, in our culture, we've got a saying and it goes like this. People have been saying a lot of things their whole life, okay? There's a lot of things we can learn from. Seeing is believing, but feeling is the truth. What do you see in the words you hear, in the words you're reading, reinterpreting without even knowing it? Or just following those words in your mind, like a programmed robot, an imagery. How are you actually living? Is there any meaningful significance? Are those two legs your two legs? Is there a difference between your brain and how you treat your family than someone else's? You say you want to be connected with everybody, but you don't respect them for what they are to even know the air you breathe. And you say you want to be one with everything, but yet you separate from different things and you don't allow them to be. You want to destroy everything so that they don't exist and they become you. And you're not willing to become them. So we could say if you want people to become in the way of you, why don't you have to become in the way of this? The bridge needs to meet in the middle. There's two sides to everything. To every coin, there's two sides to everything. Two sides to every coin. Now a lot of people for money and time. They said that their whole life is based on money. Time is money, they say. Okay, so in those people's mindset, which I think is brainwashed lunacy, but I was just saying, in those people's mindsets, all they believe about is money. So the coin has two sides, yeah. But if they're unwilling to, and it's not only about money and a job. It's like even in life, the worth of life, the value of the coin of value has two sides. If you are unable to realise that, your hand holds onto the coin, holds onto value of anything. If your hand didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to hold it. And And if it didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to hold it. So, if it's just your hand alone, you'd be poor, your hand would be empty, you just have nothing. But if your hand is trying to control everything, you also lose your hand. It's like your hand becomes nothing. Now there's no use to it. You have to free yourself, not try and control things and obtain them, like they're yours. No. Freedom can only be yours if you accept it to be freedom. Power is in truth. Truth is only in existence. If it's not true, it doesn't exist. So the power of truth, as in anything which we can be used, like the power of infinite imagination and through constant learning. Imagination, ideas, power to create more knowledge, experiences and seeing clearly. With a calm mind of thought, without painting a story before it exists kind of thing, Painting legs on a snake. No, you don't do that. Things are what they are. So then, that's when you can do great things, It has to be that fresh, it has to be that free. You have to accept truth as it. This is what it is. I may not like it. This is what it is. Not people in society. I'm saying truth, not things that people make up. Just the truth is what the truth is. There's a lot of things that are unnecessary, And then when you accept that, it becomes your power. When you accept people, you can learn from them. When you stop trying to control others. If someone's trying to control you, someone's showing weakness, then there's nothing to learn there. You have to accept what that is. It's nothing. It's fake money. It's not real money. You know what I'm saying? You see? You have to see what they are. If it's fire, don't touch it. If it's burning you, it's fire. It's going to cook you. If it's water, you drink it, you accept. There you are. That's what it is. But if you believe it's okay to touch fire, you're going to burn and you're going to learn the hard way. If you believe you can drink poison water and just tell yourself it's good, it's not poisonous, then you're going to be poisoned at the end of the day. So I'm going to finish this message in a moment. Just a long kind of talk today. What wisdom can I share but my own thoughts reflecting on limitedly what I see from what's around me and experiences? What am I talking about if I've never seen anything? I've not seen the whole story yet even. And there's always more different angles to that. As soon as I put walls there or cut things down, bridges down, I can't get any more. You see? And what can I tell you that will be of use? It is of you and how you use it, how you see that idea. That's what is important. It's not my thoughts that do anything. It is not how I eat and shit. Speak nice words or the odd swear word here or there. The odd thunderstorm in summer. It's not about that, okay? Things don't work like the gusts of winds, floods and stuff. We have to live in nature. There's no other way about it. There's nothing else I can say about it. You have to live in nature. Many of these things which I say in the messages and videos, I don't have time or the audience, to actually listen to this stuff in real life. Nor do I want to teach people and try to, get them to come to my way of thinking necessarily, if it doesn't benefit them. I don't want to come to my way of thinking. I want to come to ultimate truth, or else I will just be part of a culture, a system, talking about my history, speaking proudly, waving a flag, waving a fist, telling people no and closing a door in their face, locking myself, shutting myself away. The moment you turn the world away, you turn yourself away from the world. You turn yourself away from the world, you close the door to light every time. If you create darkness, or if you try to taint light, you're not getting the full power of sunlight. If you're guiding it through like a one colour red lens or something, You're not getting the full thing, you know. You're not. You must see things how they are. If you have to do it as an action, it's already a bit slow. You are already here, living as you are. You know. If there was only wheels, it would not be a car. If there was a car with no wheels, it would not be a car. If there was no road separate from the car would be useless. No land, you know. If there were no passengers in the car, it would be useless. If there was passengers without the car, then that would be, you know, that would mess up the journey. It'd be useless if it was a journey which needed a car or a plane to cross the ocean or a boat, you know. How does the light get to the earth? The light from the sun, light from the stars, the moon. It travels a long way. It travels all the way to across space, through space, to get to our Earth for us to see. It's amazing. It has nothing to do with how much money you earn. It has nothing to do with who you're voting for in the next election, like as if it's a real thing. The fancy suit the president wears, or that suit that you've just bought for yourself, that row you've just had with the family, or the people at work. It's nonsense. It's absolutely, that's all nonsense. What you want is reality. It's the only thing that you can benefit from. If you want to understand the book, you need to read it. And if you want to understand the book further, you've got to ask the writer what he meant by those things when he said those things, he or she. And if you want to understand those further, you may never, because it's your interpretation. Don't keep telling yourself a different story, or that you know something. Be humble enough to say, I know nothing and I could be wrong even when I think I'm right, even when I know I'm right. And you've got to be ready to say that. But not to be told you're wrong. If someone's telling you you're wrong, it doesn't mean that you are not like accepting because you want people to say you're wrong. And so you can be humble, but you don't need to follow people because they're trying to control you and manipulate you, is what I'm saying. You know? To be manipulated in your mindset, even to lose any ideas of self, awareness of self, and acceptance of self. You can't talk about any power or the principles of anything like you should have more responsibility and all this, telling people you should be part of the system. Because if you don't exist yourself as an individual, what right do you have and what right do you have then? It's only when you stand in the self and you know the self that you can respect these ideas, see? Okay, and again, as I've said, so the point is, it's not about being ego and pride, stuck in yourself in pride and stuck like what's the word? Ego? Not at all. To accept the self. So you have to see the self as something without what's the word? Importance. For you to have importance, you have to be as vast and as empty as the universe, so that you can attain and you know, so you can like hold, so you can benefit from the power of everything. The bag benefits from its contents. You could say it carries its contents. A valuable bag of money, a purse with coins and notes in, and jewels and diamonds. If it's empty, it's nothing but a leather purse, you know? Okay. What does the light shine on? What is there? But there must be light. There must be light. Okay? So there's problems in society. Making my breathing, hold on, I'm going to breathe for a second. I'm working out here, been working out for a long time. While I'm talking to you, I've been working out, doing my exercises I do every day. Stretching for martial arts training. I'm going to do some jumping jacks and I'll be with you in a second. So think about what I've said. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, 10 more. It's been really a pleasure making this for you today. That I could share some good messages with the world, anybody out there, because I think although it's not me to teach people, it's not up to me, you know, no way, I'm just me. But there's so much confusion in this world, and it's causing suicides, it's causing violence, it's causing wasted lives of all ages and pressure in the world, and we need to be true and see truth. And that's what the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu in the book that Tao Te Ching also said. And years ago he basically was talking about balancing yin and yang, which is two sides to everything in nature. There has to be difference and there has to be change in order for there to be one. And if there's no change and no difference, there cannot be flow. And if there's no flow, it will be dry and dead. Not just a speech, this is reality. I can say it here, but you have to see it as you go. Sometimes we can see so much stuff going on and hear so many words from people, and we get stuck seeing all this, everything happening at once, and this too much erratic movement, too much everything, so many different, contradictions, and at the end of the day we see all this stuff and we don't see everything. We see everything and we see nothing. We hear everything and we see nothing. We do everything, we do nothing. We say everything, we say nothing. So ultimately, it has to be a natural flow of things. Listening doesn't mean following, and you don't have to always speak or waste your energy in places which is just not needed to be. But so if you want to know the road ahead, ask those coming back is one thing, but everybody's got different lives and experiences, different mindsets and things like that. If you want to know how deep the water is, they say you don't jump in with 2 feet to test it. Test it a little bit. If you want to, you don't even have to jump in anyway. And then from there, you kind of ready, right? You can know when to stop, know when to take a step back, know when to shut up, If it's not working, stop it, If something's not working well, don't keep trying to waste time and energy on it, Peace. Take care, peace. Okay. Okay, welcome again, guys. Quick, simple video here. I'm in the room. How you doing? And I'm just quite busy. I'm quite busy / not busy because I'm wasting my time, kind of thing. Against my will. That's what it is to be a damn slave, as they say. Was that in the movie Blade Runner? I think so. But anyway, I'm not sure what it was in, I forgot now, but the thing is, Please excuse me for writing here while I'm talking to you. I'm just busy writing some stuff on some boring papers and documents. Okay? And basically, what we really need is sanity. Sanity. The only way you're going to have sanity, peace of mind, and thus a good starting point to be doing things in a more peaceful, positive way, is through being aware. Do you come from truth? You come from only nature. You don't come from society. You don't really come from unnatural systems. You have to understand what is true nature, and nature is the way. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But if you hold on 1 second, I'll just check these forms here. Yeah. So, these formless forms. So what being formless and natural, able to flow with things in a real way of nature. I'm saying there's also the wasted form. It doesn't even exist. It's neither here nor there. It becomes formless. That's what a lot of people become like. See? So water flows. But it's not nothing. It's a substance. It's what it is. It's what it is. It ain't what it ain't. As I said, but so you have to ask yourself: are you human? What is there? What are you made of? What are you made up? What makes you up? What are you? What makes you up? What wakes you up? This is the question. So, yeah, this is the main point. And a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand it. Oh, my neck. Oh yeah. God damn it. Just messing around, but I advise people not a lot. I don't advise people. I don't even share my opinions about how I think people should be, like just friendly and constructive criticism. I don't do it. What's that? Constructive guidance. Why offer guidance? Why offer food to people you don't know? If they're hungry. You may see someone and you think they look hungry. You think they look any certain way with an ego or whatever it might be. But the best thing to do is ask, just to hear what people say. A lot of times people are telling you their needs, or ideas without even using those words, And they may come across a certain way, and you still can't jump to conclusions, even that, because sometimes people say things and you think you can kind of decode it and work out and you know what it's saying, but unless someone tells you, look, or asks you, I should say, can you help me with this, or what do you think about this, or unless someone says that, or I need this because you showed me something, unless they say that, then there's no need for me to be speaking or showing anything. But communication is good. We share our ideas. That's why I'm sharing my ideas in this video. I'm not forcing it onto people, But there should be an honest kind of communication. We all need to be better listeners. Hear what we're saying before we even say it. And know that there's, the limitations there, and that's okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You are who you are. You have whatever you have in terms of knowledge, questions, even honest questions based on a limited foundation, a belief, a perception of reality and the years you've lived on the planet, whatever that amount is or isn't, And your actual foundation of what you are, your abilities, everything, So sometimes a lot is said and a lot is not said. And when there's a silence, just let it be. Let everything be. I wouldn't say let troubles be, like let somebody punch someone in the face, and let someone burn a building down and steal things and, attack people in any way. I'm not saying allow, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, if someone's misguided or telling lies and stuff, like, look, if you know better or truth, if someone's misguided, you know what I mean, misleading others, trying to, because they just don't know about something, maybe they're not even being mean, like deliberately, they just don't know what they're thinking and how they're giving misinformation. So the best thing to do is be really true. Always be true. You know? Always be true. Always be true in that. When I'm speaking, there's always a limitation. I'll see you. I've got to stop this one. I'll talk more in future. Right, okay, welcome to the video. Hold on. How are you doing? It's another video, another shower video. You're going to hear the sound of water, obviously, while I'm here, and it's going to be, you just try and hear what I'm saying clearly, right? Turn this water on. It's time for a good wash. And it's late at night time. It's night time here. It's 11 something, okay? It's 11, about 5 past 11, maybe nearly 10 past 11 coming up. I've had a long day, a hard, long day. And also, if you know what it's like trying to survive in this society, I mean, really, your efforts are nothing for the most part, because it's in the hands of your slave drivers, the people who are, enslaving you, the people in society who are, keeping you captive, and then you're told over and over again about earning a living, which is not true at all, earning a living. How do you earn a living from another human being, a life to actually live and breathe on the earth? How do you earn a living? Tell me that. From someone. What are you allowed to live then? Is it a death? So earning a life from someone, I think that's bullshit. I don't agree with that crap. And your efforts are futile, your efforts are nothing. It all depends on what people want. But they'll tell you you've done a good job or a bad job today. And you'll go around believing that you're earning a living, earning money from people. These many, many years, 10 years, 60, 70 years of pure believing that, purely believing that nonsense. The truth of the matter is, you're a human being, human organism on this planet. The same as any tree in a forest. And nature is the power. Nature is what keeps you, in existence of life, in being existed, But if someone tells you they're going to give you basically food and water and shelter and safety, in the form of some wages which cannot even afford that a lot of times in any way. But I'm saying, if they're going to tell you that they're going to basically give you money which is in exchange for life necessities, and they say they're going to give you 5,000, whatever it is, if you wash their windows and if you do a good job of it, or if you mop their floor, then, are you going to tell yourself really that your efforts, really what it is, they give you the money, they just give it to you. Because they say, if they say you've done a bad job, then they'll give you less, you get 400 or something, 4,000. That's what it is. It's not a reality that you've earned that with another fucking human being, and your efforts to this or that. I could tell you that right now. I could tell you, if you want a bag of potatoes and a frozen fucking chicken leg, if you're lucky, then what you need to do is you need to, carry my shopping down the road, or clean my shoes, and I'll decide how much food to give you. If I'm satisfied, I'll give it to you. If I'm satisfied, you think you've earned money from me. If I'm the boss, yeah? You think you've earned money. Your sweat and pain and suffering and whatever quality of effort you got, you think you've earned that from me. Oh shit, I've given you that. I could give you stuff for free if I had it. I could just give you some money now. More than that maybe, if I was rich, more than that or less than that. The choice is in my mind and in how I do things. You've got to realise that people are punking you off, tricking you and lying to you, and you're conning yourself to think that your efforts are, like that, always recognised and respected. You make a slave out of yourself trying to survive in this world, and it's not about your efforts at all. People give you money, and if you can live, you live. If they let you die, second degree murder basically, if they let you die, not having a care whether you live or not, basically that means live on the street starving. It's the same as a knife stab or a gunshot, isn't it? In my book, it's still a murder. If someone knows that you're going to die, they just let you die. But human beings, they go one step further or back even, than not making people's protection their responsibility, like having care for other human life. No, they go even to another extreme where fuck you kind of thing, If you don't make it, fuck you. And if you've got that attitude in your heart, you're just as good as any killer out there who just doesn't give a fuck, who would kill anyone. Maybe I'm not sadistic enough to go out there and physically kill someone, but if you've got no, care for someone that's actually living or not, it's the same as letting someone die on a life support machine, not changing their medicine or hooking them up or turning the thing on. You just leave them to die when they need your care and support. Same thing. That goes on as well. A lot of shit that goes on in this world. Anyway, I've had an exhaustive day, as you can tell. The dirty grind of it all, and I've been abused the last couple of days by a couple of people, by a bunch of people, fucking idiots, and scum of society in general. I've had some shit from some young people, young adults, that have been just giving me some shit, and they're just really, really so far gone and so far from the tree, so far from the source of. I've said it before and I'll say this one again. Keep it real, and I'm saying this right now, you've got to have respect for older people, you have to have respect for older generations. I'm old enough to be their parents, some of these people. I'm old enough to be their fucking parents, excuse my language. You understand this? You fucking understand this, do you? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, if you've got to look at this realistically and truthfully, when you get people that just can't at all show any respect, that not even trying to deliberately be negative, but just people who are trying to, they look at you as if you're a fool, you're wrong. And they're trying to tell you that you are basically a fool. For lack of better words, they're just telling you you're a fool. without even saying that, they're like judging you to a point, and they're raising their voice telling you no, when you're being fair, and even when you agree with their ideas, when you don't really want it, but you're agreeing with them just to like calm them down, they're still like no, looking for conflict. You know, people like that, you know, if they don't get knocked out by someone, you know, it happens. Or you know, then you know what I mean. If the person don't walk away or whatever, which I say, then you'll be standing there listening forever to some of these arrogant people, and it's horrible to work alongside people like that. It really is. Who just got no respectful principle for the individual, and who just, through their own lack of understanding about human life, they paint things out as like they know everything, they know enough now, and they paint people out to be, oh, this person's weak, or this person's foolish, or this person knows less than me, or this person lacks in some way, shape or form in experience, whatever they're talking about, ability. But the truth is, you know, we don't know everything about a person's life. These people can go and fuck off. I've got no time for negative bullshit. Me personally, I say stay positive and true. I've got a lot of life experience, much more, almost double than some of these people. And not only that, my life experience, not just experiencing the world as well, but like experiencing many things I've been through and many things that I've done and developed myself in abilities. Not boasting or competing with anybody else, I'm not saying that, but I have developed abilities in myself. I've seen what I have done successfully, and I've also seen what I do. What I'm able to do, my abilities, and the positive mindset, and the way that I'm able to stay calm for the most part and be friendly with people and still give people support even though they're like a wreck. And they can see that they're not happy living, and they're saying it as well to me. People like that, yeah. So you can't help them. You can't help some people like that. But I'll tell you this, as for the work, like survival thing, you can't keep thinking that, you know, you can't make yourself a slave to that shit. Like, you know, we're all human on this planet. Money is actually, you know, just a tool, but you can't be telling me that you earn a living from people, literally. One, that's a delusion. Secondly, why the fuck would your life be in another human's hands? We're all human beings. Peace. I wish you a better day tomorrow. I'm going to have a good sleep tonight. More good stuff on the channel to come. Alright guys, it's another 4K, full, good quality. Hopefully this is going to come out okay. Another shower talk video. How you doing? Again, I'm going to talk about reality because I've got a lot else what to talk about really. I hope everybody can just clear up their mental illness without having to pay people that act like this. You know, they might be more of a certified specialist than I am. I'm not a mental illness expert, you know, or anything like that. But nature is the best, you know. Power and the foundation of the best mental health, you know. It really, really is. So, you know, I want to just say, okay, that, you know, I wish people could just like help themselves rather than have to pay loads of money and time on, you know what I mean, another human being basically who's not been through the same experiences, but who's not been through the same mental and physical structure that you have in terms of your actual being. And then you're just trying all different kinds of medication and stuff, like, you know, pills and stuff. Like, what's that, you know? I'm not saying that I haven't got an expert knowledge on anything, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm saying this, okay, look, I've got an expert knowledge in the making, constantly, on nature, tell you that. So what I'm saying is nature being the best medicine and life being the best medicine, that's what you really want. Clarity, which is why I'm making this video nice and clear, hopefully. But you know, whose words can be clear, whose ideas are clear enough to be understood by another, let alone worked out fully in themselves. What am I talking about? Okay, first of all, you're living in a deluded world. A lot of people are. People believe that the society around them is the real world. People believe that, society around them is the real world. They don't realise it's built on top of the physical earth in space, or wherever this sphere or plane of existence is, The materialistic, I'm saying the material world, as in the mountains, the fields, you know what I mean? We're living here on the earth. So you've got people designing flags, waving flags, designing guns, waving guns, designing languages, and yelling or singing or cheering or jeering on, making different types of writing, traditions, art, music, the good, the bad, the ugly. But we don't, and then systems of control, and then rather than being more fair and natural in general, or getting off their arse to just work together to help themselves and each other, they're more battling each other. Even when they do get together to do something, they're fighting each other. And they create systems which are, by default, based on just greed, corruption, delusion, and states where everything is in a literal hell. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's always starting from a losing point. Then winning always comes second. You know what I'm saying? Like you're always from a losing, a disadvantage, so you want to get to a winning position. But how can you win if you're not if you're already there? You might say, well, that's just, again, that is really nonsense, though. That's right. How can you win if you're already there, right? So you better be in the losing positions in order if you want to get to a winning position. But you shouldn't want to be going somewhere and getting somewhere. You should already be there. Meaning, if you're already in a winning position, you're not going to be thinking about winning. You already are in a winning position. You're a natural human being on the earth with resources, and we do not have to kill each other in streets because, necessarily because the government is trying to run people down, or ideas which are nothing if they're negative, or in a prison system where you've got to live at war, like always after each other, who's going to kill who first. It's just crazy. It's insane. We are just human beings on the planet. You can only eat so much in a day. And if you've got some food or drink, like you say, there's always people that have got more or less than you in life. But what your problem is you believe that the enemy or the king is superior. You believe in that people do have more or less than you, even when it's not. You know what I mean? Or that there are such powers in the world. You believe in this. I'm not saying you. A lot of them, they believe in this stuff. They believe in the hierarchy that you earn a living from another man, from a human being. That you are somehow your efforts pay off when they do, or acting tough is going to earn respect. Like you keep believing you can earn from other people, or that's the road to take. No, it fucking ain't. Okay. Sorry, but every tree grows of its own accord. It does not need to earn the respect of another tree to stand strong. Any bloody fool can pull a fucking trigger, as they say, right, as well. So, just because there's some guy walking around with an axe, the tree can stand very strong, stronger than the man, and for more years sometimes too. It doesn't have to prove to the man and earn a living so that it doesn't get chopped down by an axe. And you're saying that the human being is more intelligent than the tree in his psychotic state? What about the physicality? There's more strength in the tree. You'd be better to study the physical, fucking natural maintenance of nature without any stupid plan behind it, or voting for who's the president and all this stuff. So at the end of the day, the system's there, but what about the cells in your body? Someone comes up to you and steals your food at knife or gunpoint. comes up to you, hits you over the head with a metal bar. Anyone can do that, okay? Anyone can do that. But why is it you can't respect yourself and understand, you know, your actual existence on the earth? Your heart's beating, not by, I mean, it's beating, you know what I mean? Not by the attitudes of other people. The air is ready to breathe, you know, not by the attitudes of other people. So, you know, anyone can fight. What is fighting? Do you know what fighting is? Fighting is to duck out of the way and try not to get hit, and then hit the opponent. To hit the opponent and not get hit, that is what fighting is, effective fighting. So anyone can be running around, dancing, trying not to get hit, and then striking people, trying to take people out and not get hit. Because if you're getting beaten up, you're not fighting, are you, right? You know what I'm saying? So a fighter, a strong fighter, like a killer, he just goes in and takes the motherfucker out. There ain't no fairness and playing a back and forth of you. If you want to win, you're going to win. You don't waste your time and energy, right? So that's nothing, right? Anyway, so the point is, knowing that any of us can win either by taking out an opponent when he's least expecting it, which I do not promote violence of any kind, or aggression, but it's like knowing that you can do that, there's no match and no competition there anyway. Unless you play their game, then there's a competition. If you're like a weaker, smaller person and you try and stand up in a wrestling ring to a big tough guy, or a boxing match when you're not a champion boxer, yeah, obviously, or someone's got a gun or a knife, then you're playing their game. It's about cheap shots. Every single top fight they show on TV, or in wars too with snipers and stuff, it's all that. It's all a case of cheap shots, trying not to get hit. You might act tough, but you're trying to win ultimately and not get hit. So, you know, knowing that, you know, anyone can win if they've got their right head screwed on and they're not in the line of fire and the opponent is, and you're doing more powerful damage to the opponent. If you know that, you can always win. In life, you can always win. Right? You can't lose in life per se. You lose your life, you lose. You know. So life is the power starting point. Where you've always got more life. You've got more health of mind and body. You've always got that health, so that's a good starting point, right? And if you don't fight, you win as well. You don't fight, you avoid it. So you see, you can win by fighting and you can win by not fighting. That's just a given. But if you stand there and actually have a fight, a scrap, with words or fists or gunfire, there's a chance you might get hit. Everyone's limited in their ability and movement from any position, you know, and vice versa per se, you know. So I'm just saying, you should be wise in yourself. Wise and sensible and intelligent. So why should there be this battle of minds? Why do you compare yourself to others in your mind? Or try to impress people? Why do you try to impress people, is the question. You know, that's the question. Why do you try to impress, prove yourself, follow and run after them? It's like you're bowing on your knees like a slave. Okay, like you're earning a living from people and fitting in their system. And you say, well, hey, you have to go in the flow. And that's what I always say too, yeah. But not in the flow of other people, like to lose yourself. What you are, or lose the essence of nature and harm yourself or waste your life. And you say, you know, well, you know, why you can't just take out the whole world and be like, you know, it's bigger than the world. As I always say, if you're like bigger than the world, you've got nowhere to stand and no door to enter because you're too big. And you crush everything. When you walk, you're so strong that the ground crumbles beneath your feet. When you pick something up, it disappears. People run away from you. People disappear. The very goodness of the earth is so, you know what I mean? It's so bright you can't see anything. It's so dark you can't see anything. Your stomach's so big that your belly will never be filled. You've got so many ideas you can never learn anything new. There's no experience there, see? So you want to be unlimited. but unlimited. You see what I'm saying as well? Unlimited in infinite space, and there's more for you. The smaller you are, you've got a bigger world or universe to explore. Abundance for you. Humble yourself. The smaller you are, there's nowhere to fall. But the point is, you're living in this man-made construction society type matrix thing. But people don't realise it's not even actual, it's not even factual. It's that nature is the truth. Nature is the truth. If you don't understand that, you're fucked. There's nothing for you, there's no hope. Before hope, there must be acknowledgement, content, acceptance, and realization of an awareness. And awareness and realization in truth of the physical being in connection with the earth around you. That there are different roads and different paths you can take. Okay? That has to be known. If you're a slave to people constantly, it's a hard thing. And if you're a slave to people without even knowing it, it's an even harder thing. You follow people by your own will. You make mistakes by your own will. That's an even bigger flaw. That really is a failure. You should understand to take the better routes in life. Someone who doesn't know the essence of true peace inside can never hope to have a better life. You have to have that before you can do anything. I have it, so I'm sharing it. You know, my life's in a lot of fucking hard shit right now. I've had to rely within this corrupt system, the system is like on some kind of support as well. But in terms of maintenance and respect of the self and getting through this life with living in the moment and every moment, I'm able to do that by myself. I've got energy, not to burn up, but energy that keeps me going. I don't spend it away, my time and energy, doing what I do. I waste it on other people's chess games sometimes. I'm being pulled around, not by my choice though. So I follow my natural abilities and my natural interests. So thanks for watching that video. Peace. Yeah. Okay, I want to say hi guys. In this video I'm going to be having a shower. I really need a wash because I really need to wash off the grease. So dirty. So I'm going to have a good wash, okay? In today's video I'm literally going to be having a good wash and I'm going to talk to you. Okay, I'm going to talk to you now about reality, the truth and reality. Okay, so if you want to listen, I'm going to share. First things first, I'm going to turn on my water. This is another VHS video from the archives. Not to be mixed up with my Kung Fu tapes archive video, which I also have. But this is another meaningful talk from my VHS tapes archive. So I'm going to wash here. Sorry about the sound of the water. I may do more of these videos in the future of me standing here and washing and talking. Now, it's all about keeping clean. I'm not a dirty bastard. Right? So, as funny as that may sound, I really am not. Let's talk about reality, okay? Reality, the truth. What is reality? Well, when I say reality, I mean reality is, I can tell you what it's not. Reality is not subjective. Yes, reality is not there is no such thing as my reality, or the reality of, reality, and truth based on a culture even, I believe, this is how I believe it to be, I've explained it, as I see it. Everything I say is not to be taken as the perfect ultimate truth either, like my truth, even what I'm saying now. I know that I could be wrong, and I know it's nothing, it's just my angle. So I'm limited in the way that I can speak in a human language, because we are limited by that. That humbles you too, to know you're a human being that is limited and that there's so much more beyond. And it's that realisation that then, helps a person and then gives a person more potential, to do more with their lives. And what I'm saying is just, I believe, as I'm saying, that cultures or the self, the individual mindset is not, to be taken as the guide or the picture of what reality truly is. A picture is worth 1,000 words, they say, but we could also say a picture speaks, 1,000 words. But what we see from that vision, or what we see of a thing, it may be just a perception, it may not be true sight. And the image itself that that we are presumingly, perceiving, perceiving as sight, as a vision, a true vision, may be wrong, because even in your mind seeing a picture, even if they say, if the picture comes from inside you, it's always the right one. I mean, that's what the wonderful Mr. Miyagi said to Daniel LaRusso in one of the Karate Kid films. He said, how do I know it's the right picture? He said, paint the perfect picture. He said, if it comes from inside of you, it's always the right one. But still, the picture inside is a limited image. The human being is limited in his physicality always, no matter what level of strength we strive to achieve and train for. But the mind, and the mind is also limited, no matter how much we learn. It's a wonderful thing. The path's always ahead for us. It's always a bigger universe for us to exist in. If you're too big to exist within the space of the universe, in truth, can you imagine that you're too big to fit into the reality, the eternal reality of infinity, per se? So if you're small, if you're always smaller than the reality, the universe around you that you're able to exist in, the space, there's always a space for you, per se, infinitely. That's the main thing. And the picture within the self, in the mind, is a vision. Now, seeing is, as it says, seeing is believing, but feeling is the truth. Well, feeling, when I say feeling, I mean experiencing as a human, as I said, the truth itself, the experience itself. But what is the experience of life? Have you ever experienced life? Has your mind ever experienced life? Because your life and your world, your truths are what you think, right? Not to say you believe in something so it's true, but I'm saying the experience of your life is your memories in your mind, if you're thinking it, as Krishnamurti also said, about you people living in their memories and thoughts like that, Thoughts, new thoughts coming into being based on an illusion, a perception which we may call the dream. And dreams coming from the thoughts we have. So ultimately, this shower is very comfortable, by the way. We have to clear away thoughts for there to be space for new thoughts to come into being. And we have to have thoughts in the first place that start that off. So there have to be thoughts before there's no thoughts, and no thought before there's thought. And that is the driving power the driver of the vehicle, which is the body. And the body can also affect the mind in a similar way too. There always must be a presence and an absence. It's at different levels too, but both in different areas to affect and bring about the power for that. An absence of mind, be that positive or negative, areas of absence in the mind can bring about areas of absence or presence in the physical. So areas of presence or absence in the mind, either good or bad, can bring about absence or presence in various areas of the body, physical, in good or bad. And it's hard to look at so many different areas, but why would it be hard to see the one? When we try to see the makeup of the one, it becomes infinitely complex and infinitely harder to see the one. And then when it becomes, and the same in the other way, when you try to simplify things down so much, you see that you're making things complex in the process, see? And it can also be the other way around too, is what I'm trying to say. I'm having trouble trying to string the words together. It's being hard to say that, but there's always two sides and there's always two opposites. Everything always has two sides, and that thing with the two sides always has an opposite to it too, which is another two sides. Now, that's another way of saying it, but anyway, the experience as a human being, human life, we call this thing experience. Does reality, or the Tao, the nature, the whole universe and truth, does that have an experience of its own, or is it just a human thing that we call experience? The mind thinking it's experiencing things from the physical and the mental state of its very makeup of what that is. I'll use the word physicality for lack of having another word for it. In its manifest state of being. Now, another question here is quite clearly, I'm going to say, is this, or another point to look at is, the whole thing. The whole truth. So, it's the human state of existence, even though it may be an illusion, because it only is relevant to say, it only has any meaning from the state of, from the angle of the fact that we're human. So we do have this thing, or perceive to have this thing called an experience. But the truth of our existence, in the physical existence of the mind and body and spirit and whatever else there is. That is, of course, if we do exist, put it that way, in this universe of whatever, because we don't know anything more than our five senses and what this thing seems and feels to be. But if this is a true being, then we do actually have the experience as a human, different to a rock or anything like that. So in that case, this experience is quite something. Right? But, so the experience is what I mean by the feeling. Seeing is believing, but feeling is the truth. It was a Kung Fu teacher, one of my teachers, that said things along these lines too. One of my Kung Fu teachers in my life, and other people have said this, that, the mind is a powerful weapon, rather a powerful tool, and they've said, what they've said is also, as well as that, but they've said, that the seeing is believing, but feeling is the truth. Talking about in combat, you may see techniques which look weak or pathetically showy, not very useful. You may see things like that, or that look really powerful and useful, but in actual fact, the usage, it's in the experience, it's in the feeling of what you're doing. You know what works in combat. The same as any art in life, anything you're doing with your life, basically, you know. You know when you know, kind of thing, you know. Someone may look like they know what they're doing or in good balance, but they might not be. Or they don't know what they're doing, or not very confident or intelligent or understanding in what they're doing, you know, or in good balance, but they actually are. Very stronger or more able than they may appear. You know, more with it, more clued up. But the thing is, the experience of life, or the experience of reality. Now, reality is even more true than the experience. The truth is even more present than the experience may be. There's a reality to things that you, like for example, you may be experiencing something less than you even know. There may be things going on in your internal, in your body that you just don't know, you're not aware of, because you're not feeling any pains and stuff, good or bad, you know. So, and it's the same with the mind. Your mind may be in such a state that you're thinking about other bad thoughts or good thoughts. But the reality of the matter is nothing of the sort. You know, it's just mere delusion. See? But, you know, what is reality, though? Well, reality, as I'm saying, is not in the individual. It's not the individual that can say what all of reality is and the fundamentals of even a certain point, or a culture even. You know, whose reality are we talking about? Yeah, we have individual realities and things that we do, like we go through suffering or individual, you know, things. But it's like ultimately, what is made up? There's reality. And then there's reality, ultimately the ultimate reality. People's ideas and principles can affect them, and their doings can affect themselves and other people. But the truth is the absolute truth, true nature, the universal truth of the power of the universe, which is the Tao. Now that doesn't need human bad attitudes and stuff, or culture and flags and bullshit arguments in whatever slang type of language you want to be babbling, or style you be walking down the street in a fancy jacket. No, okay, none of that means anything. The truth is the truth. So when you live in a way where you're not, I don't want to say acting out or behaving, you've got to be doing truth as it is. You don't put a show or an act on or anything. The truth is absolutely nothing more. And what it is without words. So, a lot of people think of, when people think of Lao-Tzu's book, the ancient philosopher Lao-Tzu, who wrote the Tao Te Ching book about the Tao, which is Yin and Yang, a lot of people would not understand it, let alone read it in this day and age. Most people, but people that do, a lot of people still wouldn't get it. You know, some people they see it like he was a wise man, or from some angle he was just, you know, he was just someone who was very poetic and able to word things, or was trying to word things in some kind of way artistically to get the attention and let people think a certain way. He was unique in his thought. He was unique, I said, but he was not unique in that way. He wasn't a character. You know? He was speaking just like, it was almost like just clearly putting words in a way that we can kind of understand from the language of nature that's speaking to us always. And we should understand it anyway, from when we're a baby born until now. There shouldn't be any brainwashing or indoctrination from society. We should be able to see what is fake and what's not. The materialistic bullshit warfare ways of people. So the same with fighting, martial arts and combat. That's true ancient martial arts are teaching you to be a better person, to be more aware, not to look for fights, not to be jumping into crap all the time in the first place. To go with the truth, the way of peace, where everything can manifest itself. Power manifests from peace. Strength manifests, you see, where it is allowed to be, when there's an absence of pain, suffering, sickness, killing, the realms of death and fighting. That's when the body strengthens itself. You can challenge yourself and push yourself and fight your own kind of pains, if you want to call it that, to strengthen yourself gradually over time. Everybody has different levels and, you know, and endurance and stuff. But it doesn't come by breaking the self down ever. And no time saving can be. No time saving. No time making can be from wasting. You know? Wasting time. If you keep working on bringing yourself down and bringing yourself into less strength, you know, bringing yourself into more weakness, that's not going to bring you into more power. It's not. Breaking the self, destroying the self, does not bring the self into more power and strength. End of story. You have to work with building up the building blocks of life, the bricks, to build up your house of strength. If you've got a river, if you've got a little stream of water flowing through, that's one thing. But if you've got a great, massive, more water flowing, a flooding river, that's going to flow with some force. So if you want your life to flow more powerfully like a flow of life, you have to work in the ways of truth. Translated into another word is Dao, Dao, D-A-O in the English writing letters. Yeah. But that's what it is. The Dao allows things to grow, manifest and develop, to maintain a foundation and to maintain the ability to put upon levels and develop levels in all ways, in practicality, use that is possible from the human body, potential itself. So if anything, your life is going to have development, it has to have maintenance first. So you must have you must maintain a foundation you must have a foundation for maintenance, and grow your gardens, plant your seeds wisely and water them. Cut poison at the root, don't put it there in the first place. And when you see poison, you cut that root down straight away. You know, strike while the iron's hot, preventing something good, all that. You know? So when you have that level of maintenance, what am I talking about? The level of maintenance of what? Maintenance of potential. When you maintain a foundation of potential, plant that seed and keep watering that. You have to have a seed before you can water it. So plant that seed of potential and water that. Then you can develop it. But if you don't have this thing, because if it dies, it's not potential. You have to keep the life, maintain. That's what Kung Fu teaches. Kung Fu training teaches you to maintain life, to keep yourself strong, to breathe internally, the breath, the body working, the energy, to exercise the body and mind. You might think you're a strong fighter, but if you keep going up against forces that are stronger than you might be broken down by them. Don't put yourself in danger. You want to make sure you have a stronger sense of vision, a stronger sense of awareness, and that comes with having a stronger body. If you don't have a stronger body and mind, or strong enough for whatever level, you're only able to receive on the level you're at. So the kind of strength you're at, you're only able to, in body and mind, you're only going to be able to work with that and absorb the energy of that. So if you get stronger to the next level, there actually more. The stronger you become also means the more humble and smaller you become. The smaller you are, there's no place to fall, and there's a bigger world and universe for you to learn from and to attain and benefit from and gain and learn from. There's a bigger universe. If you're too big, there's no world you can stand on, and there's no door you can enter because you're too big. You're so loud that nobody hears your words. You deafen them when you speak. It's like the force of your breath. It's like a tornado storm, hurricane blowing away everything that's in all of the people that are there. They run away because they're scared. The little bugs, they fly away like wind, like leaves on the wind. When they see you, you're so bright, you blind people. You're so dark, you blind people. I'm saying you're like the light or the darkness, I'm saying, shining to people's eyes. You're so quiet or you're so loud, they can't hear you either way. You see, so if you're too small or too big, same thing. But I'm saying, in terms of an infinity, you have to be small. Not in actual terms of physical mass of strength or size. It's the implication of use, but it's also the implication of what it is. Fire is always fire, so no matter what, if it's a flame, a small flame or a big flame, it will burn you. If it's poison, it's poison. If it's pure clean water or clean air, it's going to be good for you. So you should be like that, the healthy being, without any shape or way. That's the way, right? So when Bruce Lee was saying the water can change into any shape, it can become any shape, it can become that, the teapot or whatever. That's it. To adapt, but never change what you are and become nothing. The water becomes so cold, it becomes like ice, it can't flow and it cracks. It becomes so hot, it becomes like steam and it evaporates. What is. Nothing doesn't exist. The fake things don't exist, so you have to work with reality. But the substance of truth and nature, what you are, is water. It's like water, sorry. It is an actual thing. It can flow and it can crash, but it's like water. I'm not just taking people's words, this is the true thing. The power itself of life. The power itself, your life must reflect or be in the flow and truth of the absolute presence of the eternal Tao, which is what created you and what you are. Other people may use words like God. You can use any word. It may be God. It's all the same thing to me. Truth, eternal truth, God, the Tao, nature, Mother Nature, whatever you want to use, just reality itself. What is the truth, the foundation, what created you, whether that's eternal, like a God or whatever, that's what we're talking about, the same thing. You have to reflect those forces, things that allow things to be and to grow, rather than things that allow things to die and just allow things to be no more. That is the essence of destruction, but the ultimate essence of destruction is non-existence. Deceit, fakeness, failure, you think delusion, you think you have nothing, then you have a life. Materialistic ways is the wrong way to think. You can make tools and make things with what you have, but you are the eternal power energy at the start, the heart of the storm. You are the storm, you are the one. You are the heat that brings about the lightning bolt. You are literally the start, the seed that started the whole forest, or rather the nature that started the whole forest. You are part of nature. To go against the self is to waste the life. To go against the truth, is to work with death. And for someone who knows truly how to live, there shouldn't be that. There's no place for death to enter. Okay, that's what you remember in your life. If you know life, you can only know life if you know truth. You have to know truth before you know life. It doesn't mean know all the answers. It means have more questions. It doesn't mean to be able to do everything or show everything or compete with everyone or match up to everyone's power. It just means to truly live without complexity in the mind. Constantly learning, because the mind is free from distraction and delusion and stress and pressure that's unnatural. Challenging the mind and body to strengthen itself. Being free and able to think, a stronger thinker with better hearing and vision. It's not what you see or how much you see, unless your vision is. It's how good your vision is and how strong it is they're able to see more. How much are you able to see and how much are you able to hear? How far are you able to walk and how much are you able to carry? Not only with a hand. And remember, more can be less and less can be more. How big are your bags? Motherfucker knows to carry this truth. You understand, right? Not just physical bag, but the bag of truth. What do you have that is ready to carry along? How big and strong and far and wide is your journey without the actual physical itself? They say if you want something, you already have it. It's what's in your heart that makes it, the experience. It's not the experience per se that you're in or you're making or this or that. or what you think it's or you're acting as. It's what you are. You are the experience. But the truth itself is the master. The truth is the experience. The Tao gives rise to all that. The way your mind is thinking, the energy that I'm saying, the way your brain is working, the thinking thoughts, the blood pumping around your body with the air inside, and every atom and cell, the way it's arranged, with the temperature of the sun that's allowing us to live on this earth. Because without that heat, there's no such thing as cold, remember, only heat. So without it, everything would die. Without light, we would see nothing, would be in the darkness. Clean yourself. Don't be ashamed. Clean yourself externally and internally. It's not about image, funky hairstyles or clothing, money or fancy words and parading. It's about truth. The experience we show is nothing if there's not an experience we don't know. And the experience we know, or we know, an experience we know may not be the experience we know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's many things in you that you know now that may be much more than what your mind knows. And there's many things that you do know in your mind that your body is suffering because it's not putting into good use. Or you're running away from truth. And there's not enough time to even work things out sometimes. But the thing is, like, there's experience in the world you're living in. It's a fake world built on top of the natural world. Human beings should be more intelligent with how we invent, technology and tools. Peace, I'm going to go and dry myself up. That's reality, that's true.